Okay, I wasn't sure I should do this one or not, but I've been in quarantine for 10 days. This has been my pretty cool view right here of Macau, and this has been my room. And I'll talk a little bit about it. I kind of moved everything around. I made the bed like that. I moved this out of the closet. I put this red chair over here, and the Wi-Fi is horrific. So I had to put the Wi-Fi, I had to put this chair over here, the computer, so it's like over by the toilet and the door. But all the quarantine hotels that I know, the Treasure as well has pretty awful Wi-Fi. So this one, but actually outside of the Wi-Fi, and I had to sit by that door a lot. This is a pretty good quarantine room to be in, and I'm going to talk about that quarantine as I get out of here today after day 10. Pretty cool. And I'll kind of tell you about what's going on. Chiquinha, Chiquinha. Go check out the room. Hey, welcome back. I'm just gonna show you a little bit. So one of the things you're gonna notice is there's hardly anybody out there. People are banned this whole week. There's people right there. They're walking in front of the El Tira. Let's see, you can see them right there. But if they're walking around, they should be going to get a NAT test. They banned people for 7 days from going outside, including nobody can walk a dog. I haven't seen anybody walking a dog. And that's been pretty big in the newspaper about why they're not allowing people to walk dogs. I'm kind of curious why they even think that COVID spreads outside. So like if you walk a dog, you're not going to give or spread COVID, but that seems to be the belief in Macau in 2022 for some strange reason. So yeah, they think that being outside and walking dogs and also jogging, there's a couple of people arrested for jogging. So they went outside. So some strange reason the belief system seems to be that being outside spreads COVID. Breathing fresh air as well. So there's also some people talking about the cars and do they have to wear a mask if they're in a car? And the answer was, you don't have to wear a mask as long as the window is rolled up. With this, so again, the strange belief that breathing fresh air creates or spreads COVID. So this, by the way, is just permanently here. It's part of the desk. I'm not sure why. But anyways, I'm gonna maybe I'll try to zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit. There's just somebody else walking over there. I'll talk a little bit more. Okay, we'll zoom in a little bit more. So this is actually my view. So yeah, right now they've banned everybody from going outside for 1 week, but there's actually daily NAT tests. So you have to take a test every day and go to a center. So actually there are people walking around, and I think they have to show a code to say that they're going to their appointment. So that's actually where people are getting COVID, is standing in line. So I think scientifically that's kind of what everybody's been kind of saying and complaining about. And I guess it's sometimes you have to stand in line for hours, and I think they've also like take people in batches or something like that, and they have to test in another place. And I can confirm that because I came in off the airport and I was in a room with 57 other passengers, and a handful of them actually had COVID. And so, but they didn't really have an interest in separating us immediately. So I think a lot of people are catching it probably from that kind of stuff. But anyways, I'll also think Macau's doing a good job of trying to get back down to zero COVID. The policy is kind of outside of Macau. It's actually in mainland China. So Macau, scientifically, it doesn't make any sense to have the zero COVID policy. Economically, it's painful. Most people are asymptomatic. I think in the newspapers it's something like 2/3 or 3/4 are asymptomatic with no symptoms. Most of the people are just going into quarantine like myself as precautionary measures. And that's basically what's happening in Macau. And but we're going to try to work through it, and hopefully our city can get back to zero COVID, I think, but it's a very contagious Omicron, so I don't know how likely that is. but that's what they're trying to do this week anyways, and we'll see what happens. And I guess we're kind of hoping that most people are vaccinated, so I think that the real threat is not very high of a serious problem for most people, and economically it's probably the most hardest for anybody, for all of us. But we'll see what happens. I think it comes from above anyways, from mainland China, so I guess it depends on when they allow us to just move on with the rest of the world, and which isn't this week for sure. So anyways, this is my quarantine hotel. That's the view, and I'll just kind of show you the room one more time. So I've been in here for 10 days, and I didn't turn on that TV one single time. I did sit here a lot, and sometimes I'd get some Wi-Fi and move it over here. But it's like this right here, the Wi-Fi is pretty awful. So usually I had to be over there, and I got my bags all ready to go today. So after 10 days in quarantine, I'm ready. And in case you're curious what the bathroom looks like that. And they give us some shampoo and stuff for a week, or for 10 days. And we also got a lot of stuff like this, just about breakfast, dinners. So we got dinners that came. They got information for us. COVID things, what not to do, open the door, don't open it too wide, wear your mask when you do, stuff like that. So anyways, I'm out of quarantine, so I'm going to be in another quarantine next, so I'm in a home quarantine for 7 days, but I have to go out and do the NAT test, so I'll try to do some filming and give you some updates on Macau and what's going on. And we're still in the middle of our outside ban, and so I guess for me being in quarantine, it's there are people walking around, so apparently they're going to the NAT test, but I think they're also going, I see them late at night too. But there's been over 1,000 infractions, I guess. Like, their police are asking people what they're doing, and they do have to show evidence that they're actually going to do a NAT test or doing something essential. So I don't know, we'll see. I haven't been outside, so I can't really tell you, but today I will. So I'll turn on the camera and let you see what's going on. There's the outside of the building right there. So I was up in the quarantine there. We're just gonna walk on and out. And I got all my bags, and I was at the Hotel Regency. So that was the place that I was at for the last 10 days. I'm gonna walk home. There's taxis that are taking people back. And I guess I'll just keep the camera going while I walk a little bit. But basically, that's the view that I had for the last 10 days. And you're not supposed to be walking on the street, but I'm walking home. So actually, I'm kind of curious to see if people are walking around or not. But there's been I think there's been 9 arrests, I think, and over 1,000 infractions. You're not supposed to be walking around at all during these 7 days. And there's also only essential workers get on the bus. The bus is almost empty, and cars are not supposed to have their window down if they take their mask off. So I guess if your windows are up, you can take your mask down in the car. So those are some of the rules going on right now. And we'll just kind of observe our walk, because this is going to be my first walk outside of Macau. And I've been looking at this theater building for quite a while. I've been looking at that outside of that. You can see that from the side. I'm kind of moving quickly because I'm not really sure how much rights I have to actually be outside right now. So I'm supposed to be I am in the 10-day hotel quarantine and then 7 in the home quarantine. So I'm walking home, and then that'll be it until I go out and do the the hotel right there. 10 days quarantine in that hotel. And I'm kind of curious, from my window I could see people walking around. There's people working. So I guess essential workers are able to still clean the trees and things like that. So it's kind of interesting. It's interesting what's what. Let's just get down like that. So there's actually people staying as guests in the hotel. So this is actually Altira, and so I guess that would actually be a guest. So they wouldn't be an essential worker. Maybe they have to do tests too, I don't know. And over there is the mall, which looks like it's closed. Okay, so actually I gotta be careful with the camera because people might misperceive that I'm actually filming people when actually there's a lot of people walking around. But I think they're all doing their COVID test. So I think you can go out to get groceries, I heard, and also to so we'll just kind of see. Here's Hoa De Nam Keng. Because there's so many people out, I'm kind of confused. A lot of people getting groceries. So I don't know. I've been in quarantine for the last 10 days, so I don't really know all that's going on. But it looks like most places are open. Pharmacy, I think that's essential, and the restaurants are supposed to be closed. So you have to go all the way down here. We got to go all the way down and across. I'm actually a little bit embarrassed when I see people because I don't know if they're allowed to go out or not. Because actually there's a lot of rules where if you're a blue card holder, meaning you're a foreigner with a work visa, you can be kicked out of the country, which is pretty awful because they haven't left in the last 2.5 years because foreigners are banned from coming in. So they're actually working. Looks like most people are getting groceries though. I think they're allowed to get groceries. I'm gonna turn off the camera because I'm not really sure who's what. I'm gonna turn this camera on because I think that's... We've got speakers telling everybody to stay inside, so I could hear it from my... Okay, let's turn this off again. We're gonna continue. We just came off of that thing and I just went on the other side. A couple observations. There are people definitely walking around. I saw a lot of people up on the Skyway, and I think that what's going on is that a lot of them are going to the NAT test, so they're getting groceries, and if you have a grocery bag with groceries, you're allowed. So I think they didn't want people to panic buy and get up all the stock right before the lockdown, or the partial lockdown is what they're calling it. So it looks like there's kind of a freedom to walk around, but there are people who are going to jail. I think 9 people already, and they're usually because they're walking dogs. I've seen nobody walking a dog, nobody jogging. So people that are jogging also got it, and also people who are not wearing a mask in public. Like there was a case where somebody was at Sao Paulo ruins and they took their mask off to talk on the phone, and they got arrested. So it looks like it's kind of a, like if you are walking dogs or jogging or something that looks like you're not actually like sitting on the phone, then it looks like you're not actually obeying the rules. But if you're actively moving and going to get groceries or something like that, then everything is good. So I guess that's kind of how it's going. Anyways, I guess that's kind of the sum up of the street. I'll try to film more. I have to go out and do a NAT test each day, I think almost every day. So I'll just kind of film and just kind of see what we can see as we do. But yeah, a lot of people are getting groceries, so I think that's the way to get out of the house, is to go get groceries, which is kind of funny because you can't walk a dog and you can't jog and you can't answer a phone call if you pause, but you can go inside into grocery stores. So I don't know. Anyways, it is what it is, and I'm going to close it right here, and it's good to be back in Macau. Those are all allowed too, so all the grocery stores, the restaurants are doing all takeout. So it looks like a lot of stuff like that's going on. So we'll end it right there.